And if it meant something, like you can drive this capsule to a facility where they would do stuff to it, like clean it out, how much of that could you do if it was a skeleton inside of it and you're trying to make the fossil fuel of it change into the stuff it was before? It's like a joke of like Quan Chi in the underworld if you had one. Just like the staircase that my sister had in Chicago, like in a semicircle, and then this on the 90-degree angle with the two, making for a loop around, looking down all those flights all together, seeing down right before. A warrior skeleton in the back of a biohazard thing, and if it got fallen off, it could do a contamination of an entire land if everyone were turned to zombies that way. Because actually that's how the start of the movie happened once. And one time I was driving the truck and it did have a facility behind it. I was thinking if there was a body chopped up in it, kind of like the drums that Jeffrey Dahmer had in his apartment, it's no different than one if it's a porta potty having fluid under it. So I didn't know if any bodies were chopped up in it, or I thought it would have been like Jeffrey Dahmer and I didn't even know it, driving a truck with it in the back. If you have a driveway and it can be turned into a flower bed below it, would you grow turnips upside down with grass all around it as a, instead of hydroponic growing things? You could vertically integrate them if as a semi-tree that you ran inside of a program of concentrates if an entire guild were the same thing, depending on how you grew them for your own self-induced, to have like self-induced that you wanted as well. If there's a designated sign that says no smoking and then you have some kid throw it out the window, in Ozaki County, whenever kids went out of hand, you caught a felony, because if you just left and your kids ran outside, you could get thrown in jail. So the etiquette in drinking, when they take it for granted, if you know you didn't leave liquid in the rim of a can and then you present it to the person who wants you to drink it and they throw it away and get you a fresh one, that's etiquette, and knowing that you're better, asking bartenders if you can use a rubber mat as a coaster. What's the best way to go about cleanliness? If you have a napkin and it's a wet nap and you just put it aside and you grab it again and it's wadded up, can that make a difference if it's fresh or not? Separately, if you double that with trash on the side, how do you handle it? Could make for a turn of a coupling from the two to make a great outset. In Vegas, on the computer, guy on the radio show said the draft is coming to Vegas because he has a house in it, and it's now on TV. So we've got these two things live happening at the same time. These guys are in two same places. I knew. Or if you could have a paper printout be an ID form that you can use in Advantage, go to Walmart or anywhere, versus if your plastic card was expired, if you can update it through barcodes or whatnot, they'll know if you can use a rubber mat or not, and someone next to you says, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Well, now you're a veteran in the bar. So even if you enter in the right code, it could be 2 mistakes off, which was the second one would have been 1 off from the right number. So instead of 11, it was actually 12. Flag is no different than someone else showing an image of it quickly, and they never do. So this is odd because my laptop keeps playing songs really quickly, even though the songs that I play are not at its normal speed. They still play it, but it's just another sign of my computer being hacked, because even though the image is low enough to go normal, it's playing it super fast for everything. So still image of people's picture behind it, I can use that, not get charged. But as for the motion on the left, I'll get taxed. because you can have dry shampoo inside of a bottle and then you can also aerosolize it. It just means that if you can make a different thing harden as it comes out of its mouth, it would be just as like spitting milk into a cap of a tube and then being able to use that allows that for a better function than its initial reaction. And if it was turning into solid objects like bacon, for instance, you could have that powder form be what it would be as space ice cream, except it accurately manifolds and as the aerosol hits it, if it's leaving the O-ring of the spray can. Classic zombie movie, Jumanji, and then also parts of The Jungle Book and Avengers. You're gonna see it in these 4 scenes. In the last 30-second sequence, could have just been a car chase scene and ended up on this bridge. If there was a person sitting on a bench and from across the lake you just saw red below them, then their body disappeared. It would be because you were really far away and all you could see was red, despite black and white. So there's this scene in Planet of the Apes where it's equal to James Bond when he's inside the Mexican Dead of the Day parade and he's in the helicopter above them. They stole a cutscene from that. In Planet of the Apes, the new one, they also stole in the chase scene a clip from Jumanji when all the animals are inside the road and they're running in a certain direction because they just got let out of a board game. So that's in Planet of the Apes, and then it's also a cutscene to like Spider-Man on the bridge with Doc Ock. So all the cars are on the bridge and the monkeys are running in the scene, and that's also a carry-on from Avengers when they're all inside like the last scene and there's all the aliens that are like attacking in random places, such as the battle in the city with the guy who had the red cape and the jewel on his forehead. How to handle a quantum nature is to show off how much you can handle it without needing electric wires like transistors. This is known as Bluetooth, but more importantly, it can be utilized as easy as being able to polarize openings. Anywhere with a frame has a vacant base in the middle, and so it can be utilized as an exciting ring. In video games, this exciting ring gives you points when you are able to race through it quickly, and that's how Sonic is able to have a motion blur on his feet and then turn into an entire blue ball, almost like Sonic the Hedgehog when he's doing a blue ball attack, or I mean speed run / attack. It's the same as Glenda the Good Witch being a purple orb and going out and top of the Elbrook Road. One fatality if you could use that as an airplane suction cup engine. If it exploded, that would be equal to a teleport if it was the open door. It's a black hole. Boom, 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 boom. So in showing off how well you can handle quantum nature, if you're taking over an entire planet with an invasion, that's equal to just one frame being an opening. The whole entire world, flat Earth, would be like one open door or one switch that you're making in use of a door. And so if that's done, it would have to be by like an alien attack, and that's why the Avengers were trying to shut out the loopholes from the sky. That's in the same as the Mortal Kombat invasion when Shao Kahn invades Earthrealm, even though he lost the tournament, and then Sindel takes over everyone, and Nightwolf has to kill himself in the second Mortal Kombat showdown where everyone's gone except him. So he takes out Sindel by himself by executing a thunderbolt the size of like the Megatron in the Power Rangers, the green guy inside the tube. That's equal to what, if it was a Triborg, that beam is equal to what Nightwolf had to conjure in order to take out Sindel. Only it turned both of them to skeletons, so that face inside the Power Rangers, that's like a Triborg doing a fatality, if that green beam was doing that to Sindel and its skeleton was inside but only its face was on the outside, that was its normal state, as opposed to just Nightwolf performing a fatality as that beam. It's the same thing, but just with more carried out, because we don't know what happened. There was a cutscene after Sindel got taken out by the giant light beam that was inside of a tornado and Solnado. Then the cutscene ended with the skeleton, so we don't know what happened. In James Bond, it's almost equal if he is playing for the bad guy Spectre, that's his boss. So then it has nothing on him. Second, so he's hiding in the weeds. And all of the moments that he was trying to fight with his license to kill, he was actually a bad guy.